the establishment press. We were called crazy. We were called
one of my favorite people, Jimmy Dore.
We're conspiracy analysts here, and Dr. Fauci is a.
I just saw him at a show a couple weeks ago. He was excellent. He was more stand-up-ish. He did more stand-up stuff. And his wife, miserable liberal, now Steph is she's funny too. You know, she had fun with. They both had fun with it. They don't usually come here to Florida, so they were well received. And really, this is an excellent show. The show is right here. Caught. Okay, so he's talking about the whole Fauci thing. You know, the puppies being eaten alive by flies. Just how sick is that, right? So anyway, you know, I'm not going to give any medical opinions or conjecture in this show. Not much in this video, like I'm running a show here. In this video, mostly I do these for my own purposes, but I'd like, you know, to express my opinions, maybe get some conversations going. But this is really excellent. So he's the speculation is, and he brought this up just now. And I really just enjoy Jimmy Dore so much. And I'm not a socialist. I'm like the opposite of that. But besides the socialism part, which is a big part, but all the other stuff, especially foreign policy and government corruption related, he is on top of everything. He is a smart dude. He expresses it in ways that people understand, right? So, you know, people can relate to him. And he just does such a good job of showing and demonstrating the corruption in the military-industrial complex, and he doesn't stop there. He's been getting into the pharmaceuticals, which all liberals. When I was like a hardcore liberal, we all used to deride and hate the pharmaceutical and stress natural nature and all that, and that was a big part of liberalism, you know, and that's why you still see a lot of vegans there. But then they start getting into contradicting themselves. Oh, everybody should have a vaccine, blah, blah, blah. That's all good and well. That's your opinion on that. I don't care. But then Fauci is already under fire now. He just got confirmed by the NIH. People in the NIH want him out, obviously. They wrote a letter, probably after a lot of investigation. They said, we're not taking the fall for this guy. We did the paperwork on this. All this research, talking about the gain of function research. We did reports on this, and they were ignored on the upper echelon. So now they have a paper trail. So these people, the lower ranking and less corrupt, probably a lot of them are really good people, less corrupt and mostly very good people, made the reports, and corrupt actors like Fauci and probably a lot of the middle management as well ignored those reports. And so it's kind of now what's happening now is they also just opened this old story. To my understanding, this story is 2 years old or more. It was first reported by The Intercept under Glenn Greenwald, one of the greatest journalists alive today and a real hero. He's also a socialist. I'm like totally against socialism as a concept. However, when we're talking about foreign policy, intelligence agencies, military industrial complex related stuff, big pharma corruption, corporate corruption, Glenn Greenwald is on it. He's bar none. He is second to none. And this is Jimmy Dore, who is also second to none. So what happened is they come out with this dog story, which was an old story. They recycled it, reemerged it, kind of like what they did in a less graceful way with the Trump saying bad things about dead soldiers story that came out last year, which, you know, during election season, which was a recycled story. And so many people didn't get it. It was a big story a couple years before that, and it was disproven. And then it was further disproven when it resurged again last year. So this is a recycled story, but enough people, because of what happened in the NIH, so many of the people want him out. Now the president has to pay attention to that because the bureaucrats are very organized and very strong when they get these organized sort of worker movements. And so they're going to want to get rid of him now. I bet on Predict It. I'd like to see this, what I do with my phone. Oh, yeah, right here. On Predict It. If there's a market on this, I'll have to check that later. Then this is going to be a market that the shares have gone up a lot. And what did the stock market do today? I didn't even look at that. let's do a little recap of today's stocks. Flat, flat, mostly flat. Points. Russell 2000 went up almost 1%. Nasdaq didn't really move. Looks like so. Yeah, it was an interesting day. I just got a call here. Arash Madnia. Okay. So anyway, I'm getting distracted here, but back to what I really wanted to say. So now this is a lot like um, um, the guy from New York, whatever his fucking name was, I can't remember right now, Cuomo. So he was already in hot water for really negligent homicide of tens of thousands of people. I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that, right? And I think that the Democrats within the party just wanted to get rid of this guy. He was probably a real piece of work. And so they brought out the sexual harassment thing. And now you see them doing the same thing. And then that got rid of him. That's one thing that if you get accused by people within the Democrat Party, their goal is to get rid of you, and they want to do it without making you resign. Okay, they want you to take a fall, take one for the team because they're all the team, and keep your mouth shut. So they hit him with the sexual harassment thing. Here we have Fauci getting hit by the torturing dogs thing. Same concept. This is coming from within, not so mostly the Democrat Party because most government workers are Democrats, and also the bureaucracy itself is simply done with it. They're probably starting to worry about loss of funding and stuff like that, and so they're going to have him take the fall. Probably not. They're going to prosecute or punish as few people outside of him as possible. But I'm still torn on whether he's going to get axed or told to resign, or if they're going to keep him in anyway, because just this administration, there's no leadership. And so if he can hang on, he'll be able to hang on despite this obviously organized internal attack. People like him, they're probably they probably feel he's somewhat responsible for what's happening in Virginia, although most of that goes to Biden, but some of it does go to Fauci. And just it's a real dire and precarious situation. So to recap, my theory is that, like when they brought out the sexual harassment charges, accusations on Cuomo, they're doing the same thing with the doggy torture thing, which is, by the way, an absolutely horrid thing. Now, whether Fauci knew about it or not, it's possible he wouldn't have known about something like that. I do believe he knew about the gain of function at the time that he lied in front of Congress, in front of the Senate, and lied to Rand Paul, committing perjury. He definitely knew that the NIH gave out money, and he knew about it at that time when he lied about it. He may not have known about it last year. Well, we have emails. Don't forget, we have emails from last year in which he was like frantically emailing people, but it seemed like maybe he knew about it then, but I'm not sure. It's possible. So this is fantastic. So whether he actually gets axed or not is the question of the hour. And there has to be. We'll go to like Biden administration on Predict It. This is like a multi-topic show because we're doing political gambling. Jimmy Dore, his show, in case I didn't mention it earlier, was spectacular. I did mention it. More stand-up-y, really good. And let's see, Biden's 538 approval is going to drop further. 538 RCP approval. I should already have a wager on that, and I don't. And I'm going to have to go for the 14 cents for 14.16 or lower. Let's see what the RCP is now. So I'm thinking 41.6 or lower. That's the best guess on that market. Again, the market is what will Joe Biden's RCP job approval rating be at 11 a.m. on October 29th? And the lowest choice is going to be 41.6 or lower. That's 14 cents. 41.7 to 41.9 is 16 cents. 42, so they're doing it in 2-point increments. from 41.6 to 43.8. And this might be actually, it looks like they've already surpassed. Based on the fact that 42.3 to 42.5 is actually low, is actually losing a lot, losing 2 cents, not necessarily a lot. Let's see what Real Clear Politics has to say. What his job approval is. I gotta hit enter, don't I? Yeah, forgive me, I'm tired, but I just felt like making a video, and I've been like doing multiple things, but it's getting late. So let's go to this, which will give me the average. The average is 42.2 right now, so it's getting low. Yeah, I'm definitely going to buy the 41.6 or lower, and I'm going to get, that's going to be 100 shares, maybe 150 shares. I can maybe try 200 shares, 150 shares next. That's nothing. Submit offer. So that is going to be the best guess. So definitely a good bet in my opinion. So I guess I can make this like a political betting information channel. How do we politically bet? Here's the key. Know your history. If you know your history, you can be able to politically bet. So that's my theory. Back to Mr. Fauci. That's my theory, is that this is an internal attack, kind of sort of like a coordinated attack. A lot of people want to get rid of him. Certainly people within the bureaucracies, FDA and all that. I think his wife, let's look at this. Dr. Fauci's wife. Just look at this real quick. Because Dr. Fauci's wife, F-A-U-C-C, oh my gosh, I am beat down. F-A-U-C-C-I. I'm just really restless. So Anthony Fauci and then his wife. And then she is Christine Grady. This is from The Sun. False claim circular. Oh, this is like a supposed fact check. Okay, was saying Grady is a nurse and chief of the Department of Bioethics. So this is supposed to be a fact check or to make the situation better. They're really, this is really just laughable. They don't expect people to read this at all. But if she is chief of the Department of Bioethics, how ironic is that? And no wonder Dr. Fauci was able to get away with as much as he wanted. This is a literal security breach right here. Isn't that insane? Grady, 69, is a nurse. I heard something fucking whacked out was happening. So they're doing a fact check. I don't think it's a fact check. This may be an actual good article, but I don't know about The Sun. The Sun, does it have a good reputation? They couldn't get away with lying like this, though. This would be labeled misinformation for sure. So that's insane. The chief of the Department of Bioethics. How insane is that? This is our country. Poor country, poor United States is being used and abused right now, isn't it? It really is. It's really amazing. Feel bad for the country. Let's see what else he was talking about.
Logical liar who's been screwing over the American public since he got that job decades ago.
Yeah. He's done. He did his thing. So that's my take. That's the video I'm going to put out. How long is this one? This one's only 14 minutes. Okay.